my sick husband, Jim.
And this is my beautiful, wonderful, sweet wife, Rhenda.
Well, you're wonderful too. And he's even getting better. Maybe. Not so much. Right? But we always say we're getting better.
Yes.
Okay. We're just trying not to get... I'm trying not to get sick.
What a way to start off the new year. Maybe what this means is I won't be sick the whole rest of the year.
There you go.
Hi, photo bomber, white dog.
I actually was sick last January and I wasn't sick the rest of the year.
Good choice.
Go ahead.
Good. Go ahead. It's been quite a year for us.
It has. And I thought maybe it'd be a good idea if we reminisced about that year.
Okay. So when we started off the year, we had decided that we were going to vlog.
Right.
And we got started, and then we did a 6
months of 180 days. No.
180-degree lifestyle change in 180 days.
Yes.
So we talked a lot about the lifestyle change we made and encouraged other folks to consider the same types of changes because they've helped us so much.
Right.
So 180 days of vlogging, how did that go?
It was amazing. We didn't miss one day. It
was challenging.
I was really sick at the beginning because I remember trying to do it when I was sick. So anyhow, but we did it.
You saw the title. This is about exercise today. Don't turn this off yet. I have some important things to tell you about. It's going to be good. You're going to like it. It's going to help you. This is good stuff.
All right, we got one more to cut here, but we already cut it. So look at this. Our first watermelon. Whoops.
It already has a bite out of it.
This is my bite.
How is it? Is it sweet?
Not as sweet, but it's refreshing. It's 102 degrees, so it's really refreshing.
Good evening.
So this is the surprise. Here we are.
In the garden.
In the garden. And you saw us harvesting stuff earlier. Well, we thought what better place to prepare the food than in the garden. So let's go. I'll cut them at the table. Okay.
We made a lot of soil blocks, and here we have seeds in them, and if you look, you can see the labels that we've put on these four.
Things on the homestead that we did?
Well, we raised more broilers.
We did, and we sold the broilers.
Every one.
Every single one of them. We had them calling back and saying, can we have more?
We raised some turkeys.
We did. We made chicken tractors that were very good for our
Yes, yeah, we used the John
chickens.
Siskovich design, and they worked quite well for us.
Yes.
And as we left the homestead, we actually used Craigslist and advertised those and sold both of them.
Sold both. Who wouldn't want them?
Somebody got a good deal.
I know.
Our Rhode Island Reds got old enough to start laying.
Yes.
And started laying, so we had plenty of eggs.
We did. We sold about 10 dozen eggs a week.
For quite a while.
And we had turkeys, which we fell in love with.
We're turkey people now.
We are turkey people now.
Turkeys are fun to raise. Now, if you don't have a large oven, you need to process them early as opposed to late because they do get big.
And we had turkey legs and thighs smoked for Christmas. And,
yes.
And everyone at the table loved them, knew where they came from. Nobody was upset that we had raised them. It was really nice to sit there and do that. We were able to share some of our broilers with my family in different places and help feed them.
Yep. Yeah, everywhere, well, this fall, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's back up. We had set a goal as we started vlogging that we wanted to get involved with influencers, people who could help us become known. And we worked at that pretty hard. And in September, we had a big surprise when Justin and Rebecca Rhodes and their family with the Great American Farm Tour stopped by our place and spent 4 days with us. A little bit of recuperation for them.
We knew about it well, we knew there was a possibility about a week ahead. And then we knew that they were coming a day ahead.
Yeah, they ended up coming a day earlier than originally planned.
It was the highlight of our year. And,
great people.
And when we watch them now, we feel like they're our family. We get really choked up about them. But
certainly for us, it was it underscored what we've been trying to do with becoming known and the effect that can have on us, where we saw our followers, people became aware of us, so we went from 300 and some to 1,700 in a week. Pretty amazing. Now there we still sit.
And we're still sitting there.
And there are reasons why. We'll
yes, there are.
But it helped us understand this whole process. Helped us understand more of how the YouTube community works, what's going on right now with this movement to the land. We hear that whatever generation it is today is rejecting so much and wanting to go back to simpler life and so on and so forth. And I'm like, yeah, that's a big story because they're in the social media and you know more about them. Our experience is that there are people our age range and perhaps a little bit older who are finding themselves at a time of their life when they are saying, you know, we need to make some changes. And a lot of those changes have to do with getting their own place. Well, we've all had our own places, but a place where you can grow your own food, where you can be a little more comfortable with having a lifestyle that's beneficial.
I'm going to let Jim keep talking for a minute. Some of the things that we've done this year is learn how to eat really well from the food that we have made ourselves. And we were able to bring a whole bunch of our food here, and it's cooking right now on the stove, and I need to go give it a tiny bit of attention while you talk.
Okay, great. And that's another topic here. What we're having tonight is liver and onions from our garden that we brought with us, as well as liver, chicken liver.
And green beans from our garden.
And also green beans. So we're eating our harvest. Here it is, January. We've been not so much hanging on to it, but we've been with other people, so we didn't have a chance to eat it as much. So it's great to have it. That said, you know, the reason that we aren't where we were as part of this year in review is that as we were getting towards the end of our annual lease on the place where we were living, we queried the owner if he would let us do some increased things with the yard. We wanted to have an extra cow. We wanted to potentially have some sheep, pigs, and the response we got was no, we're not going to have livestock there, and I'm going to start raising your rent. It's going to be
substantial.
It's going to be substantial this year and more in years to come, because the local economy is things like where you live, properties can rent for a lot more. So we had a decision to make. You know, did we want to commit to a place that, more infrastructure, more work, more time, to a place that was only going to get more expensive, and there was no way that we were going to be able to buy it from him? Or did we want to start moving ourselves in the direction that we could get our own place to where we could certainly be sustainably living in place? And after a few months of trying to ignore the decision, we realized that's what we had to decide. So we needed to move. Absolutely.
But before we moved, we're jumping back again. We had an extremely successful garden.
Oh my goodness.
And it's
overwhelmingly so.
It's important to kind of understand, we work really hard at our gardens. And we've had gardens in the desert on pulling back all the sagebrush. We've had gardens in the rain and rocks. And both places we've had very, very successful gardens. And we just work at, what is it that homesteaders do? They get obstacles and they have to overcome those obstacles. What's your new saying?
My new saying is
we have insurmountable
opportunities. Got that from Gaia, the book about permaculture, who is quoting Pogo. Those of you who remember and know who Pogo is. I love the saying, insurmountable opportunities.
He loves the saying. He says it all the time.
It's perfect.
But our rocks were insurmountable. Our sagebrush was insurmountable. Our lack of water was insurmountable in the desert when we lived there. There will always going to be challenges. And you just figure it out as a homesteader. That's what we do. That's what you all do. You figure out what it is you have to do and you fix it.
And what our challenge is that finding our cost of where we are going up and our ability to do what we want to do decreasing.
Going down.
So that's not workable. So the fix there is to find a way to get ourselves into a place, and we have a little bit to go. And as it's working out,
we're sitting in a beautiful place.
We're sitting in a beautiful place that we can stay for long enough for us to get ourselves on our feet well enough that we can buy something that is going to do what we need it to do. So we'll see how long that takes. We're not going to say specifically right now. We have some guesses, but life.
But in the meantime, we're not just sitting and twiddling our thumbs. We're going to make the most of what we've got here. We're
going to take our opportunities, and there are many, and where we are is great. We're going to be introducing you to it more and more as we go forward. It is winter.
It is winter.
It is January, and it is unreasonably cold.
But not just here. I mean, like, you know, Justin said it was that way in North Carolina today, so we're talking, you know, way going south.
Yeah. So this is going to be a rough year for everybody.
But for us, it's okay. It's a great time to start because we don't have any animals out there we're having to run water to and break up the ice.
I just can't imagine the challenge.
Well, we can. We've done it before.
Well, we've been there, done that.
We had 30 below zero where we were at.
Anyway, we're recapping the year.
Recapping.
Okay. So after Justin and
Our
Rebecca,
fire went out.
we don't have matches or fire starters, so we do. We just have to go find them. So fire in the fireplace is a challenge. We'll get there. We'll get everything together. Anyway, after Rebecca and Justin Rhodes and their family left, then by that weekend we were finished packing and cleaning and prepping, and we left.
And we traveled for 3 months, as you have known and seen.
A great 3 months. What a family time.
We just had such a great time. And I have to tell you that, okay, so what we did was 2 weeks in Virginia and Washington, D.C., 2 weeks in Denver, then back to into Utah for just a little while, then 2 weeks in New Mexico, then 2 weeks in Nevada, and then 2 weeks back in Utah. And it was great. It was so great. And
unsurpassed family time. I don't think we've had any experiences like that with family ever.
Nope. And so now that we're here, I felt like a newlywed, putting her dishes away for the first time and being able to be here, just the two of us, is pretty...
With our little white dog, Oliver.
Pretty amazing.
Who is glad that he's finally in a place where he has a place to sleep consistently. He can go outside and...
Yeah.
It's been rough for him.
So it's been a wonderful year. It's been a productive year. We were able to bring so much of our food with us in the freezer, and we couldn't plug it in coming across except for the first night, and it wasn't a problem because it was 0. And then we got here and everything was still froze. And so now we get to eat it, and it's a blessing.
And one of the highlights of this year is all of our new friends that we've gained through the YouTube community. A lot of people we interact with on a daily basis, and sometimes we've said, you know, we interact with these people more than we do our own children.
But now we got to spend time with our children, so we don't feel quite so guilty in interacting with the people that we love on the other side of this camera.
A lot of good, great friends, and we're glad to join with you and to celebrate life and to look forward to great things in 2018.
We are going to have a part B. We'll still be sitting here, we'll still be dressed the same, but it will come the next day, and it is our 5 goals for 2018.